Hey everyone, Ben Hochman with Hochman Fabrication and Speed here, and I know you have all been anxiously awaiting the formal release of this new product, the removable tube front end for the EVO 8s and 9s, and I'm sure it'll fit some other models, but I haven't tested it yet. And we're just about an hour away from me posting the formal launch with pricing and options, but I wanted to put one quick video together before then to show you how everything works, because as you can imagine, there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of details that need to be taken into consideration, and ultimately the reason I haven't launched this product sooner is because I have a really strict quality standard, and I won't take deposits on products or release a formal launch on a product until I'm confident that it's going to meet those standards. So it's taken a long time, and I finally got it to a place where I feel confident that I can build a jig off of this and set you all up for success if you want to do this at home. There's only 5 cuts that you have to make, and then you just have to weld up the box receiving plates that will be included with the kit, and that's pretty much it. You just bolt it right on after you've done the welding on the frame and cleaned it up. Everything should bolt right up as long as you follow the directions, which there will be detailed instructions for. So I've got Mike's Silver Bullet EVO here, and I've got his setup all complete. I just wanted to give you guys sort of a little overview of it so that it answers a lot of questions that may still be out there and helps the whole process go a little smoother. I can tell you as far as pricing goes that there's going to be a couple of different options with regards to the hardware. You'll be able to use your standard hardware from the factory, and then I'll include standard hardware that's additional that you need. That'll all be included in the price. There will also be an option for you to upgrade the hardware that is the 4 main connecting points right off of the frame. Those 4 bolts and washers, you can upgrade those for an additional fee to TI, titanium. And if you want all the connections on this thing to be titanium, that'll also be a third option. In addition to that, there'll be an option for those of you who may still be running the factory coolant overflow, because the mount that it utilizes is obviously removed with the tube front. So we build a little bracket in order to help support that from below, and that'll be an add-on fee if that's something that you need. Just want to make sure we've got everybody accommodated. Everything's going to come standard powder-coated black, satin black, and if you want another color, we can accommodate that, but there may be an additional fee, so we can cross that road when we get there. So I'm going to just move right into demonstrating this thing, and then just make sure you keep an eye on the business page here, because we'll be launching this thing today. So here's Mike's car. As you can see, everything fits really nicely on it, and that's really what it's about, is tolerances. Let me go ahead and open his hood here. You can see his bumper fits nicely, his hood, his headlights, everything fits as it should. I have his car steering pump hanging down over here, so I can close the hood. And the first thing that we can do is go ahead and remove the bumper. So we happen to have a couple of 10mm right here. And then he also has, fortunately, some quick release tabs on the side here. You can remove that. You can really see this. Okay. So first thing that we can do is we can go ahead and remove the upper radiator supports in the radiator. Before I do that, I just want to point one other thing out. Another reason this takes a while is because of tolerances, right? Everything has to fit perfectly, it has to be level, and there's a lot of little mounts in this thing. So, another reason why quality control is so important here at Hochman Fabrication. Okay, go ahead and remove the radiator. Here.
we're going to go ahead and remove the intercooler here. This utilizes the factory configuration, the factory bolts, or if you have an aftermarket kit, of course. Teams. Cooler out of the way. Go ahead and actually sit this down here. Okay. And we also have made it possible to use the front radiator fan from the factory, which we do run on our Black Zenith EVO. So, if you happen to have that, you can go ahead and remove those upper bolts. And there's actually a bolt right here in the middle as well. You will remove this smaller section here. There's a little bracket that we have in our instructions on how to modify that. And it's also important to note kind of at this point that AC does not work with this configuration. So the way that the tube is bent, you will run into clearance issues with your compressor. Or condenser. Unthreaded this a little further. All right. So that's off now. And as you can see, we now expose the center radiator support. Remove that bolt. You've got your lower subframe center crossmember bolts. So you can remove those. I have the right size here. Those are the factory bolts that I use. All right. And for those of you that may be running a belly pan, we have integrated tabs for that as well. So you can see here we've got the belly pan that we made like last fall. 12 millimeters there. Separates it from the front there. Then we've got our headlight supports. And these actually go through the factory connection point, and then you run a nut on the back side, which is where the thread runs through in order to hold the support for the headlight. Again, these are things that will be in our instructions. And at this point, all you have to do, once you've gotten this far, is unbolt those 4 bolt connections on the tube front, and this thing will come off. One. 2. 3. 4. That wasn't very graceful, but yes, it does come right off. Anyway, so that's how this thing works. that's what it takes to remove it. Sorry for the long, lengthy video and wordiness, but I wanted to put something together that helped explain things because it's really hard to do that in just a quick post. So it's made out of chromoly. The majority of it is chromoly and stainless. There are a couple of small brackets that are made out of carbon steel on this. I am going to use all chromoly and all stainless on production models. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, you guys. I really appreciate the support. This one has definitely been one that I've invested myself in the business heavily into because it's something you guys have demanded. So I'm hoping that you guys are going to step up to the plate and purchase these and make them come to life. So the last thing I had mentioned before was this little bracket, which if you're using that factory style overflow, you're going to need this because it'll support it from below. It actually bolts in right over here in that little hole connection, and it supports it over here. So that's what I'm talking about when you see the option for supporting your factory overflow. All right. One question I'm sure that is on everyone's mind is in regard to the cut that's made on the chassis and making sure that everyone gets it right? So the way that I did this was I tried to make it foolproof in the sense that you're literally following the line of the inner fender line. So this line right here that you see is untouched from the factory, and you're literally trying to cut along that line exactly. So the instructions will be detailed, and they will ask you or recommend that you cut a little bit outside of there so that you have plenty of room to work with to get that thing really flat and flush the way it needs to be. So just to kind of give you a little bit of insight as to how I tried to make it so that everyone could consistently and accurately get where they need to be. And so that's as foolproof as I could make it. Now, if for some reason you're a little outside or a little inside, obviously you'll be able to compensate by using some washers, but that's not the intent. That's going to add weight, and it's obviously not going to be as clean of a fit. So, as you know, if you purchase one of these and you don't have me do the work, you are 100% liable for any cuts that you make, any welding that you do. This is completely in your own hands, all right? We are not liable for anybody else's hackery. If you choose to go with a shop or someone does their own work and it just doesn't work out, that's completely on you. This is off-road use only, and everyone knows that when it comes to racing and making modifications to your cars, the liability is on you. The quality control for the piece that's going to fit on here is on me, but all the cuts is on you. So keep that in mind. Until next time, keep an eye out for that post.